Tonight, we are live in Israel for the historic events here and across the region. The last of the living Israeli hostages finally free, as President Trump declares a historic dawn of a new Middle East. The emotional homecomings after more than 2 years in captivity. Hostages racing to their parents, siblings jumping into the arms of their family, fathers clinging to their sons. We were there with the crowds as the nation learned they were free. Thousands cheering as helicopters carrying them flew by. President Trump on the ground here, the hero's welcome he received, his triumphant speech to Israel's parliament, and the signing ceremony he oversaw. Why he says this will be a lasting peace. Plus the thousands of Palestinian prisoners and detainees freed, now home, as questions grow about how Gaza will rebuild and what will come of Hamas. The powerful nor'easter slamming the East Coast, communities underwater as tropical storm force winds and storm surge batter the region, and a ground stop at one of the busiest airports in the U.S. In Alaska, the remnants of a typhoon sweeping away homes, helicopters rescuing dozens of people, the urgent search for those still missing. The new warning from the Speaker of the House, why this could be the longest government shutdown ever. The terrifying scene on a Massachusetts highway, a small plane crashing during the height of rush hour. Plus, the moments of pure joy after more than 2 years of agony. What friends and family of hostage survivors tell us now that the nightmare is finally over. Nightly News starts right now.
This is NBC Nightly News with Tom Yamas, reporting tonight from Israel.
And good evening from Tel Aviv, where it was a monumental day for history. A day where families torn apart were finally reunited. And a day where a chance for peace so rare in this region may be within reach. There's a lot of work still to be done, but for those in the region, especially Israelis, the images of the day are ones they will never forget. The helicopter carrying those remaining hostages home, flying over Hostage Square. The outbreak of joy in the streets we witnessed with our own eyes. And these moments, both deeply personal and universal. Families separated for more than 2 years, finally reunited. Like this father, overcome with emotion as he embraced his son after he was released. These events today broadcast around the world. President Trump in a triumphant whirlwind visit, meeting with the families of the hostages, speaking to Israel's parliament, and overseeing a historic summit in Egypt, where world leaders gathered to sign off on that peace plan. There were celebrations in the West Bank and Gaza as well. Thousands of Palestinian prisoners and detainees were released as part of the deal. But these images of so much of Gaza destroyed show the amount of work ahead to rebuild that area and build a bridge to a lasting peace. Our correspondents are spread out across the region tonight, but we begin with those hostages finally home. Tonight, the miraculous homecoming. Jubilation as vans carry freed Israeli hostages back into Israel. And the moment, the massive crowd that packed Hostage Square all night erupts in cheers. It's an incredible moment right now here at Hostage Square. Everyone's looking to the skies because a military helicopter carrying some of the hostages flying over Tel Aviv right now. All day, the emotions pouring out after 738 days, many in underground Hamas tunnels. 20 Israelis are finally back home. 2 years ago, the world watched in horror at these images. Hamas terrorists abducting Noah Argamani onto a motorcycle as her boyfriend is also dragged away. Noah was rescued last year. And tonight, they are finally together again. 25-year-old Eitan Moore was taken from the Nova Music Festival as well. That's his father, overcome during their reunion. And here's the emotional moment. Segev Kalfan reunites with his family.
Segev was also abducted from the music festival. His family only learning a few months ago he was still alive. And this is Avi Ohana in a hallway, preparing for the time many thought would never come. His son Yosef, who helped others escape the Hamas terror attacks, but was then kidnapped himself. Tonight, his powerful embrace with his dad. And watch as those van doors open up to reveal Avitar David, greeting a cheering crowd. 2 months ago, Hamas terrorists released a video of Avitar digging his own grave. But tonight, he's back in Israel and back with his family. And we're also seeing the first images of Omri Moran, reunited with his wife and daughters. I spoke to his brother-in-law yesterday.
What do you hope to tell him?
I hope to tell him what an incredible wife he has, what brave little daughters he has. The entire world knows his name in one way or another and wanted to see him home.
And that's Keith Siegel, FaceTiming tonight with freed hostage Matan Angrest. I love you so much, Keith tells him, and no one knows better what Matan is going through.
We were held together for 2.5 months, locked up in a very small, dark room, just the two of us.
Keith was held captive with Matan before he was released last February.
Does it stay with you? I mean, do you have nightmares? What is life like afterwards?
Life is a lot of things afterwards. My family suffered for 484 days, not knowing if I was alive, not knowing what's happening with me.
All of these reunions a result of President Trump's peace deal, a remarkable diplomatic achievement.
The hostages are back. It is a good feeling. Isn't that nice to say?
Speaking to the Israeli parliament today, President Trump saying this deal is just the beginning.
Generations from now, this will be remembered as the moment that everything began to change. It will be the golden age of Israel and the golden age of the Middle East.
As part of that agreement, nearly 2,000 Palestinian prisoners, some convicted of murder and terror offenses, but others detained without charges during the war, were also released today. The president appealing to Palestinians.
This is their chance to turn forever from the path of terror and violence, and I think that's going to happen.
Still, this is a bittersweet moment for many families here in Israel. Tonight, just hoping to get their loved ones' remains. American Hirsch Goldberg Poland was one of the hostages murdered by Hamas. We spoke to his parents.
We've got some painful days ahead as we uncover the fact that some number of them may not even be found.
And tonight, even though there is so much hope, there is already some conflict. Israel says Hamas has not returned as many hostage remains as the deal required. Meanwhile, President Trump making stops not only in Israel, but also in Egypt, as we showed you there, as his peace deal begins. Here's Peter Alexander.
From the moment he landed in Israel, the words "thank you" visible from Air Force One and billboards here expressing gratitude. President Trump basked in the praise of a country that credits him more than its own prime minister for today's long-awaited reunions. The president's name echoing through Israel's parliament as he touted his landmark diplomatic success.
This is the end of an age of terror and death. This is the historic dawn of a new Middle East.
Netanyahu praising his American ally.
Donald Trump is the greatest friend that the state of Israel has ever had in the White House.
Going off script, the president called on his Israeli counterpart to pardon Netanyahu, who was indicted for allegedly accepting expensive gifts, which he denies.
Cigars and champagne, who the hell cares about that?
The president then heading to Egypt for a peace signing ceremony with Arab nations and other world leaders who back the deal.
Peace has been achieved after untiring efforts. Efforts led by President Trump.
NBC's Keir Simmons with the Italian Prime Minister.
Do you believe that President Trump will manage to turn this into an actual peace for the Middle East?
I'm absolutely optimistic on this. President Trump opened it, but we have to help him.
Help with so many potential challenges still ahead, like disarming Hamas and rebuilding Gaza that the president largely glossed over today, while declaring the war is over.
This took 3,000 years to get to this point. Can you believe it? And it's going to hold up, too. It's going to hold up.
And Peter, listening to President Trump today, he's hoping this agreement is just a starting point.
Tom, that's right. President Trump is looking to build on the momentum from this deal to help reshape this region, even looking to expand his Abraham Accords that normalize relations between Israel and other Arab nations, and suggesting a possible peace deal with Iran that just a couple of months ago Israel and the U.S. were bombing. The president today said this deal will hold up. Time will test that. Tom?
Peter Alexander for us. Peter, we thank you. Chief Foreign Correspondent Richard Engel joins me now live. Richard, a momentous day, but there's still a big unknown when it comes to Gaza, and we actually saw that in the streets today.
So peace can beget peace. There's reason for optimism, but there are many pitfalls. And if you look at what happened in Gaza today, just take a look at these images of one of the reunions when some of the prisoners were sent back. You can see there are Hamas gunmen still all over the streets. A Hamas spokesman today said the group won't hand over its weapons except to a future Palestinian state. There are also still Israeli troops inside Gaza, so there's a possibility that there could be clashes almost at any time. So there are serious risks here.
Yeah, you see those images. There's still so much work to be done. Richard, we thank you. Back at home, more than 20 million people are under coastal flood alerts tonight. Soaking rains and punishing winds from a nor'easter snarled air travel today, causing delays across the East Coast. Sam Brock is in Ocean City, New Jersey tonight for us. And Sam, there's several feet of water in the streets where you are tonight.
Tom, we are now more than 4 hours removed from high tide. There are feet of water all over the streets of Ocean City. In fact, Tom, it's preventing folks from getting in their cars and driving out. We saw people in kayaks and paddleboards on this street earlier today from a storm that is continuing to cause trouble. The powerful nor'easter that's pounded the eastern seaboard, taking aim tonight at the Jersey Shore.
We wanted to see how much beach we had left.
Leaving Ocean City under feet of water. We're now approaching high tide, and barricades litter Ocean City, blocking drivers off from streets. And not for a few wet patches either. I'm a half a block away. This water goes as far as the eye can see. Officials today taking stock of the disintegrating beach, which caved before our very eyes. Look at that.
Yeah. Yep. Taking it with them.
Frank Donato is the emergency management coordinator. In 1 week, this entire dune has been eroded.
Correct. Yes. So it takes one storm. That's all.
In New York City, city officials say the nor'easter's howling winds ripped a solar panel off a carport, hitting and killing a 76-year-old woman. The system's devastating force also felt in the Carolinas, where mounds of sand line Hatteras Island on the Outer Banks, the bumps on the ground, cars buried underneath it. While thousands of miles away in Alaska, remnants of a typhoon stranding people in remote villages who had to be hoisted to safety by Coast Guard helicopters. At least 3 people are still unaccounted for. Doreen Carter's home was swept away with her family inside. They escaped by boat, but she says now there is no home and no town to return to.
The house is unlivable. We can't live in there anymore. This is the worst ever. It's totally... Kitnuk is totally wiped out.
Back here on the East Coast, Tom, many feeling fortunate by comparison. The storm clears tomorrow. Tom.
Sam Brock in the storm zone tonight for us. Sam, we thank you. We want to turn now to the government shutdown, which has stretched now into a 3rd week. And today, the Speaker of the House warned it could go on for a lot longer. Here's Gabe Gutierrez.
Tonight, on day 13 of the shutdown, Republicans are blaming Democrats for causing the White House to lay off more than 4,000 workers across 7 federal agencies.
We're barreling toward one of the longest shutdowns in American history unless Democrats drop their partisan demands.
Democrats are blocking the funding bill because they want the GOP to extend hundreds of billions of dollars in health care spending.
There's definitively no reason to ever trust the Republicans, particularly as it relates to the health care issue.
But Republicans argue that's too expensive. So
we're ending some programs that we don't want. They happen to be Democrat-sponsored programs.
The Trump administration now reversing course on some of the layoffs after telling hundreds of scientists at the CDC they'd been let go. An official familiar with the matter telling NBC News it was due to a, quote, glitch in the system.
The government shutdown inevitably leads to some chaos.
That chaos doesn't sit well with Nico, an Iraq war veteran and furloughed government worker who asked us not to use his last name.
How concerned are you that you will be laid off?
100. So I'm waiting for the call.
He's now considering a second job to pay his new mortgage while he waits for Congress.
It's like it feels like a bunch of losers, right? Like this isn't a left-right thing. This isn't a conservative, liberal thing. It's like, guys, you have one job.
The Senate is scheduled to return to Washington tomorrow, but there is still no clear path to end the shutdown stalemate. Tom?
All right, Gabe, we thank you. We'll be right back with the crash on a busy highway. This small plane slamming into the median during rush hour. Take a look at this. And the video of another plane crashing into a fleet of tractor trailers. We're back now with a small plane crashing into a Massachusetts highway during rush hour. It's just the latest in a string of aircraft disasters that are now being investigated. Here's Morgan Chesky, and a warning, some of the videos you're about to see are disturbing.
Tonight, federal investigators poring over deadly scenes following two plane crashes ending in a fiery nightmare.
Dude, it's a plane, dude.
In Massachusetts, flames covering the highway.
We have a confirmed plane crash with possible injuries, active fire, and jet fuel spilled.
Morning commuters swerving after a small aircraft slammed into the median, killing two, according to state police.
All of a sudden, everybody locked up the brakes, and we all kind of zigzagged.
In Texas, investigators say two people died Sunday when a plane struck tractor trailers in a fireball. According to authorities, the Beechcraft King Air C-90 had taken off from a nearby airport in Fort Worth. While in Southern California, a helicopter sent debris flying Saturday, spinning, then slicing through palm trees before crashing in a beachside parking lot. Officials say two people on board and three bystanders were injured but survived, adding the chopper was supposed to be part of a Cars and Copters event. Several witnesses rushing to pull at least one victim to safety. Three frightening accidents in 3 days that tonight remain under investigation. Morgan Chesky, NBC News, Los Angeles.
We're back in a moment with the deadly storm slamming Mexico. The search tonight for survivors. We are back now with some severe weather in Mexico. At least 64 people are dead and dozens are still missing after torrential rainfall battered multiple states. The deadly downpours triggering landslides and heavy flooding that swept cars away and destroyed houses and roads. And take a look at the surveillance video from Miami Beach. The driver of a Tesla slamming right into a restaurant Sunday morning. Police say the people in the car were tourists en route to the airport. Unclear what happened here. And it's a three-peat in Milwaukee. The Bucks signing Alex Antetokounmpo, and if that sounds familiar, it's because he joins his two older brothers, including two-time MVP Giannis. It marks the first time in history that three brothers have played for the same team in the league. Pretty incredible. When we come back live from Israel, the powerful moment these two brothers, finally free, jump into the arms of their family. Stay with us. Finally tonight, from here in Israel, after 2 years of so much pain and tragedy and heartache, today was a day of celebration and hope.
For 738 days, Hostage Square was ground zero for hope, anger, and sadness. Today, it was the center of joy. For 2 years, the family of Guy Gilboa Dalal never stopped believing. Today, they ran into the arms of their son. Tal Cooperstein uses a wheelchair and couldn't speak due to an accident. After his son Bar was taken, he learned to speak so he could fight for his release. Today, he stood up to embrace his son, now free. Brothers Ariel and David Cuneo were both kidnapped when their kibbutz came under attack. 2 years later, the family jumped into their arms. In Gaza, throughout the war, hundreds of thousands fled their homes. Today, so many returning, but finding their homes no longer standing. The future in this region so unclear, but hope is in the air. And tonight, many noticing the moon over Israel and Gaza, like the events of today, giving so many a reason to look up.
And that's Nightly News for this Monday. I'm Tom Yamas reporting from Tel Aviv tonight. For all of us here, thank you so much for watching. Tonight, and always, we're here for you. Good night. We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.